All right, guys. That was something.
Derek said blame him, so
Yeah.
we're calling Derek out on that. He ended the stream on accident. So welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah, I forgot when you're on mobile and you want to leave the stream, the only way you could do it is by ending the broadcast. So yeah, I forgot what I had to do when I was on my phone. I would just go to the tabs and I would close out of it that way. So it just throws me out, and I can go there. And there were some comments I wanted to bring up too on that one, but
yeah, so resend the comments that you have
resend them. We'll get back to it. We got Face Waterhose here. Hello. How you doing? And then we got Tyler Robertson. Hola. How you doing, man?
I'm back.
So yeah, that was fun, but we're back. We're good to go. So let's get into, should we go into the inactives again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Just for anybody who missed it.
Here we go.
So we're going to talk about the inactives, and you know what? If Houston has their inactives up, I might talk about those as well.
Yeah.
So the players that are inactive for today's game, for us anyway, is Jacob Eason, Andrew Sengio, Braden Smith, Michael Strawn, Kamoko Toure, Chris Williams, Jordan Wilkins.
Yep.
For me anyway, with Jordan Wilkins, we really haven't seen him at all this year. So, I mean, it sucks that he's out, but it's not really going to affect us too much, I don't think.
Right.
Same with Chris Williams. I mean, he comes in maybe from time to time, but he's not like, missing DeForest Buckner or Grover Stewart.
Right.
People like that.
Yeah.
And then, like we were saying earlier with Braden Smith, I have no idea what's going on with him. No. Like, I wish they knew what was going on. It's not like the Andrew Luck situation where, he's going to retire, but it's kind of like that year Andrew Luck retired where, we just didn't know what was going on. We're like, oh, it's not too bad. And it's like, oh, it's actually this.
Yeah.
No, it's actually that. So I don't know. I just wish they knew what was going to happen. But now I'll go to your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the inactives for today?
Yeah. I said it on the earlier stream, but I'll say it one more time because I think it's important. I am confused by the way the Colts have managed this. It's like, well, shouldn't you know, like after a while, what some of these guys like Braden Smith, you should know, like, okay, if it's going to be beyond 3 weeks, it's going to be 4 weeks, like it's been 5 weeks, put him on IR, save yourself a roster spot. And the Colts just haven't done that. And I'm all for being optimistic, but this was way, way too overly optimistic, for Braden Smith. And, if it's as bad as it is, then help yourself out, help your team out, give yourself another spot there, to address the tackle position or whatever. It's just confusing to me why the Colts just didn't put him on IR, and just say, you know what, he'll be back. So that way you don't back yourself into a corner and make yourself look incompetent. And that's what it kind of, at least on the surface, it appears that way because you're like, okay, how in the world did you, based off of what we saw and what it seemed like the Colts were saying, it was going to be 2 to 3 weeks maybe. And now it's 5 weeks. So it's just kind of getting ridiculous at this point that Braden Smith, and he was like kind of practicing, right? Like he was on the sideline. He wasn't participating, but last week, even before the Baltimore game, he was, on the sideline or on the side kind of working. And we're like, okay, maybe he'll even play in that game. And then we're like, oh, surely he'll be back for the Houston game. And he's not back for either of them. So just kind of confusing, kind of mixed messages there, in my opinion. And you know what? Like, there are people I know, Colts fans, that don't really trust the training staff. And sometimes it's easy to see why. Situations like this happen. And again, sometimes injuries happen and you don't really know what happens. But sometimes these things just make you go, huh? They make you scratch your head like, how do you not know that?
Right. And it's like, there was that offensive lineman that was drafted by Tennessee last year. Yeah, he had a, not the best pass, last year and whatnot. He got into some things he probably shouldn't have, but, it felt like he was, ready to get back into it. It felt like he learned his lesson from that time and became a better person. So if we would have put Braden Smith on IR, week 2 or 3, we could have brought him in. Yeah. And we could have, had him, be our starting right tackle. But no, we didn't do it. And it's like, I don't know. And I want to get your thoughts on Matt Pryor too. The trade they got, because the last couple weeks, I don't think he's been that bad at all. He's been okay. I mean, the offensive line as a whole has been much better.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this may be kind of controversial to say, and I may get
Yeah.
some people throwing some garbage at me. I don't know,
Yeah.
but honestly, I feel like he's been better than Eric Fisher in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like Eric Fisher, and now
I agree.
Eric Fisher's coming back from a major injury. He's
Right.
still figuring things out, but I think
Yeah.
Matt Pryor's been dang good, man. He has not been the issue on this
No.
offensive line. I'll just say that.
Yeah, like he's been much better than Julian Davenport, but then again, it's not hard to be much better than Julian Davenport.
Yeah.
Don't want to be rude to the guy, but
No,
it's
everybody
true.
said it, believe me.
Yeah, no, like I mean, he's better than us, I'll give him that. But go with Matt Pryor from now on. He's definitely the better option. And I do agree with you. I think Chris Reed has played better than Braden Smith. Well, yeah, it's only been one game. He's been better than Eric Fisher. For sure. And, like you said, really bad injury he dealt with in January. It's crazy he was back as fast as he was.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do agree. I think he's definitely been better than, Eric Fisher.
Yeah.
So
but Eric Fisher I thought he looked pretty good. He had that one sack, obviously. That wasn't good, but like in the run game, I thought he looked really good. So hopefully he's getting his mojo back a little bit.
Definitely. And then I do want to go to Houston's inactives because there was who was it that commented? The guys that were out. Here we go. Face Waterhose. Yeah. Danny Amendola's out. Braden Jordan's out. Other guys that are out for the game is Deshaun Watson, obviously. Jimmy Moreland, Scotty Phillips, Justin Britt, Davion Davis, and Charles Aminu.
I know who he is. Yeah.
But those guys are all out. Obviously, Danny Amendola not being in is, it's a positive. Sucks he's hurt, but it's going to make the job easier for us because now we can really just focus on Brandon Cooks today. And then Deshaun Watson, who knows when he's going to play football again or where he's going to play football again. So, that's not surprising at all. But a lot of the guys on that list, as far as what I can notice, they're not really guys that we should be concerned about. Could really make Houston, or at least give Houston a chance to win this game. So now they're, it's not surprising with some of those guys, but I think Tunzel is out too. He was put on the IR. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think he was put on IR yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay. That's
so he's out for at least 3 weeks, so we won't have to deal with him. I'll go to some of the comments real quick, and then we'll get into the next thing. Jacksonville's beating Miami.
Yeah, I'm actually watching that game. Sorry if you see me zoning off here.
No, you're good. You're good. I didn't think about, or I didn't know that. So I figured they were going to win today, but yeah. And then, they remembered they have a top 5 running back on their roster. So
yeah, they just need to use them.
Yeah, they need to use them more often. I mean, I hope they don't, because it'd be better for us, but they should.
Right. For my fantasy team, I want it to play.
Yeah, you want them to play. I understand that for sure. William Steele says, Cody, glad you're back.
Thanks, man.
We had a few of the comments saying that they were happy to see you back on the previous stream as well.
Well, I'm glad that it's not, oh, dang it, Cody's back.
Right.
I'm glad that people aren't upset that I'm back. So that's good.
Right. But no, it's all good. Now they're all obviously they're happy to see you back.
Good. I'm happy to be back. Yeah.
Definitely. Islanders for life say Mack to Kansas City. I figured we could kind of talk about Marlon Mack a little bit. It sucks to see that he's on the I guess he's available to be traded for. It sucks that he wants to leave because I really think if you use him more often, he would be happy. And then you would also have just a dangerous backfield with Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor, and Nyheim Hines. I mean, I would have loved to see one play in any of these games where you have Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, and Hines all on the field at the same time. Like that classic, run offense. It would have been kind of fun to see because the defense isn't going to know what to do because, you're going to go after Jonathan Taylor. Well, Marlon Mack might have the ball, and Marlon Mack, he can cause damage. Same with Hines and, also Jonathan Taylor. So, I wish it could work out. I don't know if we got your thoughts on the Marlon Mack situation. I don't know if all that stuff went down when you were on break or before you went on break, but what are your thoughts with the whole Marlon Mack situation?
Yeah. It's unfortunate because I love me some Marlon Mack. I think he's so underrated in what he does. He's so patient, and I really love that about Marlon Mack. Like, I think about that Kansas City game, 2019, I believe it was, when he on that fourth down, he's just so patient and he gets that first down. And I could sit here and say praises for hours about Marlon Mack, but it sucks that the Colts aren't using him as much as he should be used, I feel like. Now I get it. Jonathan Taylor's your lead guy. It's kind of how it goes. He's starting to heat up a little bit. But, I do feel like Marlon Mack in relief could be a really nice second option. And I wish the Colts would use him kind of like how they use the, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, both really, really good backs. And Cleveland finds a way to use them. Now, you do have Nyheim Hines in there, which definitely throws a wrench in that a little bit. And he's really good as well, obviously. But I do wish, and I think the Colts have the last couple of weeks started to use Mack a little bit more. So maybe they do incorporate him more into their offense as they go along. I was just kind of wondering, okay, is he not fully back? Maybe not 100% from that injury he suffered last year, the Achilles. Right. And now that he's starting to show something, maybe the Colts will say, you know what? We actually want to use him in our offense a little bit more. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did get traded, though. You get some value back. I mean, for a fourth-round pick, he's been really good, man. Yeah. Really solid for this Colts team. But, unfortunately, I just don't know if there's enough mouths to feed with the way the Colts have run their offense so far this season. Now, hopefully that does change, like I said. But, I love me some Marlon Mack. Wherever he goes, I'm going to be a fan of him. He definitely deserves the lead back role somewhere. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be with Indianapolis as much as I would love it to be. But maybe the Colts do find a way to incorporate him more, and then, he does stay. I would love for that to happen, but, you never know.
Me too. I don't know. I had the feeling he was going to be traded like earlier this week to the point where I made the thumbnail. Because obviously I would have made a video talking about it. It really felt like Kansas City was going to trade for him because obviously Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on the IR. So I thought it was going to happen like Tuesday or Wednesday even, but it didn't happen. And, I think he's about as back as he's going to be because, in the Ravens game, he was averaging, I think, 9 yards a carry or something crazy like that. Like he was killing it, but they only ran with them, I think, 5 times in the game. But I mean, I don't know. Hopefully they run with him around like 10 times today, because Taylor's obviously going to get his numbers. I think he's going to do his thing, but we'll see. But I'll go through some of the comments real quick, and then we'll talk about the man that's coming back today, making his debut. There's some more love for you in the comments. They're all shouting you out. And then Tyler, he's also nice to see you back too. Nobody says that about me, but it's okay. But no, it's fine. It's fine. But I do agree with William. I think if they run with him more than a few times, he's going to dominate today because I really don't see Houston being able to stop him.
No.
And then I saw real quick. Yeah, Tyler, he said if he gets traded, Marlon Mack, how much do you think he'll be going for? I don't think it's going to be for a whole lot. If I'm going to be honest, I think probably a day 3 draft pick. You don't really see a lot of running backs or players that are coming off those injuries. Even if they're looking good, you don't really see them get traded for a whole lot. It's not like, he's Derrick Henry or, even Jonathan Taylor or some of these other running backs where, they can go for a second rounder or first rounder. Marlon Mack is what, 27, 28 years old? Or is he a little younger?
Like 25, 26. He's
25,
young.
26. Okay. Yeah. So say maybe they'll, maybe he'll go for a little more than I'm thinking, but I don't think it's gonna be anything crazy. I would like to get like a second round pick or a first round pick from him, but I just don't, especially with like what Julio went for. I don't really see Marlon Mack going for like, anything higher than a 4th round pick.
No, and look what Stephon Gilmore went for, like a 6th round pick. So I think that tells you right there. There's not a whole lot of value in some of those guys like that, and especially the running back position. Like that's a corner. That's a premium position. Running back, I mean, as hard as it is to say that, like it sucks to say that, like it's just not that valued of a position as compared to the corner and
Right.
some of those other positions as well. So yeah, I think day 3 pick is probably where you're looking there if you do trade him, which is kind of why I don't want to trade him, because I'm like, you're really not getting a whole lot back from him, and he can help you in a pinch. If one of your running backs is banged up, you're back to what we saw last year a little bit when Taylor was out. You can't run the ball. You need a Marlon Mack, I think. Which is why I'm kind of annoyed that they're trying to trade him.
Yeah, I agree, but I can see them trading him for next to nothing just because he wants to be out. Like if he wants to stay, then they'll definitely keep him for the remainder of the season. But if he still wants to leave, go to a new team, I think they'll take like a 5th, maybe even a 7th round pick for him, just because he's meant a lot to the organization. He's been good to us. So, we'll let him go, have him leave happy. But, we'll see. But now we got to get into the guy that's coming back today. It is, of course, the return of the ghost, T.Y. Hilton, just in time for Halloween. It's spooky season, so we got to have T.Y. back. So I would assume you're a little happy, judging by the jersey you're wearing, to see T.Y. coming back. What are your thoughts on T.Y. coming back?
Oh, man, huge to have T.Y. coming back. I mean, Pittman's looked really good. He's gotten the lion's share of receptions and looks recently. But, yeah, getting T.Y. back, I mean, that just puts another threat. And especially against Houston, a team where he has absolutely dominated. Man, I think definitely it's a much-needed spark. And, Carson Wentz it seemed like he and T.Y. had a good connection in training camp. So I think it just adds another element to your offense that maybe it's not necessarily been missing, but like just having that veteran presence in there is huge.
Right. And I know like Kevin Bowen said, him and T.Y. didn't have a whole lot of time working together, but everybody's saying even though they didn't have a whole lot of time in the offseason, that connection was still there. Like you could tell, like it's already there. It's good to go. I'll bring the analogy with, kind of new teammates coming together, for basketball, right? The Chicago Bulls, they, got a bunch of players, new guys, and that chemistry, it felt like it's just working together. It's similar to the Carson Wentz and T.Y. thing where, it's like, hey, you play similar to Andrew Luck. Like you can make those plays that Luck was able to make. I can make the catches that, Luck needed me to make. Let's just throw it out there and I'm going to be able to catch the ball. And it's been, very encouraging to see that their chemistry and just the connection, it's already there. It's already looking good. And it just, makes me confident as we get closer to the end of the year that it's just going to be pitch perfect. And it's going to be exactly like, Andrew Luck and T.Y. back in the day where Luck would just throw it down the field and, T.Y. wasn't anywhere near that spot at the time, but then all of a sudden T.Y. would just pop up and make a big catch. So that definitely makes me excited. I'm very,
I think we can,
happy.
With that, we can put up this trivia question that we have.
Absolutely.
And we can have people just we'll take a little bit. We'll talk about some other things. We'll put this up. How many career yards does T.Y. Hilton? Don't Google it. You have to guess.
Yeah.
How many career yards does T.Y. Hilton have against the Houston Texans? 800, 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000 plus?
Yes.
What do you guys think? Give us an answer in the comments below. But yeah, man, it should be a really good day for T.Y. I really feel like he's really been chomping at the bit to get back. He really wants to be back, and so. That connection, that chemistry with Carson Wentz and against the Texans defense that frankly is terrible. He should be in for a good day, I think.
Right. And like, it was weird because at the start of the year, Houston's defense wasn't all too bad, but yeah, they've really gone downhill these last few weeks. I was getting ready to say, hey, if Matt Eberflus goes and becomes a head coach, bring in Lovie Smith. But, that's not going to happen now because their defense just has crumbled. But, no, I do expect T.Y. to have over 100 yards today. I think with him being back, it's his first game. It's in Lucas Oil. I think Carson's going to really try to get the ball to him a lot. And I expect T.Y. to have a big, big day as well. Maybe a couple touchdowns. I have a Houston Texans friend, which, yes, we could be friends with Houston Texans fans. It's rare, but we can be. And I had to share the news, and all he's sent back was, "Oh, great, that's nice," because he knows like T.Y. owns Houston, so he's definitely not looking forward to seeing T.Y. out there. But no, it's going to be awesome to see him out there. It's going to be awesome just to see him with the guys. I think just his presence out there is going to really elevate how everybody else plays too. I think Michael Pittman's going to have bigger games now because, people are going to be double teaming TY, and that's going to leave guys like Pittman open, and Paris Campbell's going to get open. And I know Paris Campbell's numbers haven't been as good as what we wanted, but that chemistry is going to have to get there eventually because, Michael Pittman, Carson Wentz, they worked together before training camp even started. So they already had that chemistry being built. Same with Mo Alley Cox. It felt like the chemistry was being built in training camp for the little time that Carson was involved. So Paris Campbell's eventually going to, he's going to have those numbers go up. They just got to work on it.
I thought he looked pretty good in the Monday Night Football game, too. His best game of the season. Had to think 50-plus yards on a couple receptions. So it seems like that chemistry starting to build a little bit with Carson for sure. But, I'm pretty sure, because T.Y. didn't play a game this year. This is the first time the Colts have had their entire skill group intact this season, which is crazy. But, wow. True. It's about time, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, like I was going to say, too, with the Baltimore game, it's starting to get there. He made some big catches. It feels like Carson Wentz is getting an idea of how Paris Campbell runs, and I think it's just going to improve. And honestly, I'm fine with him getting 50 yards a game. I'm fine with that. So, but see, some people put their answers in the comment sections. Guys, we'll give another minute because a few people have put their answer in the comments. So we'll give a few more.
For sure.
But no, who else are you expecting to have a big day on the offensive side of things? At least, with it could be receivers, running back, Wentz, it could be any of them. What are you really looking at today for a big game?
I mean, we talked about it off air a little bit. Carson Wentz his last 2 weeks has looked like a top quarterback. He's looked very good. He's had some misses. He hasn't been perfect. He's missed some things he probably should have made. But, I mean, Carson Wentz right now, I was looking at the stats earlier. His quarterback rating's nearly 100. Like, he has been fantastic. Now, you'd like for the touchdowns to go up a little bit more, but Carson Wentz has been really, really good as a quarterback. He's turned the ball over once, and that was kind of a weird play where Aaron Donald blew it up. Carson Wentz has been really good at taking care of the football, pushing the ball down the field. I expect him to have another big day, especially with T.Y. returning. I expect probably not 400 yards again, but again, it's the Houston Texans. You never know. But I do expect him to have a really, really good day for this third straight week. I expect this Colts offense to really be balanced today for sure. So I'm going to go with Carson because I just feel like his confidence is the highest it's been since being an Indianapolis Colt. And now he's building that chemistry with Pittman, building that chemistry with Mo, with Paris. Now T.Y.'s coming back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just feel like with all the weapons the Colts have and how well their offense is playing right now, I think Carson's due for another big day.
Absolutely. And, when me and Derek were talking about Wentz, I said he was going to get over 300 yards in that game against the Ravens. And I didn't expect him to get 400, so that caught me off guard. So, I do agree with you. I think Wentz is going to have a big day. I think he's going to have around 300 today as well, especially with, like you said, all the weapons that he has and with him getting used to everybody as each week goes by. I think he can have over 300 against Houston, and the Texans aren't good. But I'll go through some of the answers people put in the comments, and then we'll reveal what the answer is. So Brandon Smith, he says D. Dylan Green says C. Tyler Robinson, he says D. No, we should not sign Rivers. Mario Chavez says C. No, I don't think we should. William Steele, he says D. I believe there's one more. Oh, sorry, there's a few more. Stacy Woosnam says D. Sarah Small says D. Robert Shaw says D. C. And Facebook user says B. Don't know who you are, but he says B or she. All right.
Yeah. So T.Y. in all the games versus Houston, if the answer is actually C, it's a little bit more than C. It's like 1,537 yards and 10 touchdowns. I mean, against Houston alone. I mean, that tells you how much he's absolutely dominated the Texans. He's put nearly a whole season in against the Texans, So he's been fantastic against them. He's a Texans killer every single time. And Yeah, I'm expecting another big game from him today.
Absolutely. I do too. I think it's going to have a really big day, especially with it being his first game back. And then the Adrian 229, he says Colts must win for Giovanni. Absolutely.
Right.
That's awesome that, the Colts are doing what they're doing for Giovanni.
He hit the anvil today. I saw that.
Oh yeah. Hey, I hope to do that one day. Just hit that thing. So it's really cool. I'm jealous that he got to hit that, but that'd be awesome.
For sure.
Got to go on the field.
I had something, Matt, that we can do, and this is gonna be for some of the people in the comments to talk about and debate with each other. What is more likely here? The Colts. Whoops, that's a ticker. That's weird. Anyway. The Colts to pass for 300 plus yards or rush for over 130. What is more likely in your guys' opinion?
So for me, I think it's going to be passed for 300. That's just what I get the feeling of because, with Carson, it feels like he's getting better and better every week. He's getting that chemistry formed with everybody plus T.Y.'s back. I think he's going to have a big day passing. I honestly, I think both of those are going to hit. But I do feel like passing is probably the one that's more likely, if I had to guess. But, I definitely do think both of them are going to hit for sure.
It's interesting because I looked at Houston's defensive stats. They're literally 28th in both versus the pass and the run. So it's a crapshoot. It could go either way, I feel like.
Right. And a Facebook user, he says, call me Jeffro. So we'll call him Jeffro. And then Lawrence Owen, he's in the chat too. He says run for 130. And then he asked earlier, do we watch the Facebook stream comments? I'm just kind of hopping around the comments, but I definitely do. I did see a few more. Facebook user did choose B. I don't know if I pulled that up. And then another Facebook user, I don't know if it's Jeffro or somebody else thinks that, not thinks. He says Carson Wentz is second in touchdowns to interception ratio in the NFL. With quarterbacks over 50. He's also first when it comes to the quarterback rating for passes over 10 yards.
Wow.
I did see that, which, everybody says that they suck. Carson Wentz sucks. That's the whole thing. Or they're like, he's terrible, but, he with him not really having much time in the offseason to work with the guys, I think he's been pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, if you say if you watch Carson Wentz and you say he sucks, you just don't know football. I'm just going to be honest.
It's like they go, well, they're 1-4, so he has to not be good. And it's like,
right.
What's wrong? It's like, you got to watch the game. It's like, I go on TikTok and I'm thinking about making a video next week in defense of Carson Wentz. There's all those people on TikTok. It's like, oh, here's the worst quarterbacks in the league. It's, Sam Darnold, which obviously he's not. Jalen Hurts, and then they go at number 2 is Carson Wentz, and I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't know that only throwing one pick was bad, but
right.
I don't know. Facebook user says both, and then Lawrence said that he was the one that did the majority of the Facebook comments, including the touchdown as an interception ratio.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. I just wish they would on Facebook. I wish it would say who it was. Weird. I don't know why.
I don't know.
And then
thanks, Lawrence.
I'll bring up Brandon Smith's comment. He says, "Is Hot Rod healthy?" No, he's on the IR. Yeah, he got placed on Friday, I think.
Yeah, and then Michael Badgley is now your kicker for presumably the next 3 weeks or so, unless he's just horrendous.
True.
Yeah.
Is Eddie Pinheiro taken?
I think he's with Washington. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would assume if he was available, they would have probably picked him back up. But yeah, I think he's on a different team, which he should be. He's a really good kicker.
He didn't miss a kick at all. He just had that one bad kickoff that went out of bounds. I honestly think that was probably what gave Hot Rod the edge.
Yeah, it was close. It was tight. All preseason, all training camp, it was very tight, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, they were perfect. Like all week, and then Hot Rod went out, kicked a 70-yard field goal in training camp, made it. And then Eddie Pinheiro had that kickoff that went out of bounds. And I think at that moment, they're like, yep, we're going to go with Rodrigo Blankenship.
Yeah.
But, that it stinks that he's on the IR. And hopefully Bagley can play well,
Oh, yeah. I hope so.
We'll see.
He needs to.
Right. Definitely. And then Tyler Robinson, he says, like, does no one understand that we've played against 5 really good teams and almost beat 2 of them? Yeah. I mean, Miami was not as good, but I mean, we took care of them. But yeah, I mean, the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFL. You can argue that they might be the best team. The Ravens, it doesn't matter who goes up against them. Lamar, and that's the thing with Lamar, he can literally bring anybody back from anything. It's like I was upset, obviously, and I'm still upset, but it's not like we were the only team that was in that situation. Like he almost did his rookie year in the playoffs against the Chargers too. But yeah, like we played them. And then, like you said, we were 2 drives away from being 3-2. Yeah, if we would have made one stop in the Ravens game, or made one kick, or if we would have had one score, when we were in the red zone against the Rams, when we couldn't put up points in the red zone, we would have been 3-2. But yeah, I don't know. I do want to get into Houston now, as far as what Houston has. Is there anything you're watching as far as Houston goes that you think could I guess, really do good things against our defense?
Obviously the quarterback situation is not great in Houston right now. Davis Mills has been very much a mixed bag. 78 quarterback rating, 5 touchdowns, 5 picks.
Yeah.
I think for me, what I'm kind of watching right now, in terms of, because Houston's, I mean, they're one of the worst offenses in the league. So, like, I guess that's not as concerning. Brandon Cooks is the only one I'm kind of concerned about, just because he's a really good receiver in kind of a bad situation. But other than that, I don't really have a lot of concerns with Houston. I'm just, I guess health for the Indianapolis right now is the big thing. Fortunately, it seems like, and you said all their corners are not inactive. Like, they're all active, right?
I think so.
Okay. So that's good. I was afraid after Xavier Rhodes left on Monday night, he may not be available, and Rock's coming back. So I'm not as concerned, I guess, as I may have been. But yeah, for Houston, that's really the big one for me is just make sure you're covering Brandon Cooks. Don't let him beat you down the field.
Definitely. Yeah, I would agree with you. Brandon Cooks is definitely the guy that I'm a little more worried about, because Brandon Cooks is a very good receiver. Probably the only player that's really good on that team right now. So honestly, I would double team him at this point. Houston's missing 2 of their receivers, with I think Davis and Danny Amendola. So just, I don't know, make sure you have 2 guys on Brandon Cooks. Don't let him get open. And then Mark Ingram is another guy too that can have a good game. Like, he hasn't been fantastic this year, but he can go out there, it seems like, any day of the week, and he can have a really good game. So that's those are the 2 that I'm more concerned about on the offensive side of things. But yeah, I don't expect Davis Mills to really do anything. I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll go out there and he'll have a career day. I don't expect it, but well, yeah, I hope not either. But
the big thing for me is the Colts have been really not good at rushing the passer this year again.
Right.
And that needs to change really quickly.
Sure.
I mean, DeForest Buckner's been pretty quiet this year. He needs to have a really big day. He needs to get back to what he was last year. And you need Kwity Paye to really, I think he needs to have a really good game today. Coming back for that injury, he's missed a couple weeks. He needs to come back and have a good day, because he hasn't really been great. I mean, honestly, he hasn't been great at rushing the passer so far. Nobody really has. Kamoko Toure is your best pass rusher right now, and he's out this week. So I need to see something from some of these young guys right now.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I need Kwity Paye to go out there, and he needs to get to the quarterback, and he should be able to, because their offensive line is obviously weaker than what it normally is, because Tunsil's out, and he's definitely their best offensive lineman. But yeah, DeForest Buckner, I know he's like, he hasn't been, I guess, getting to the quarterback as much, but like, there's times where he's still getting there. I do think he's going to get to the quarterback though, and I do agree he needs to have a big day. And then Lawrence, he brings up a good point there. This is the first time all year we're going to have Rock, Rhodes, and Kenny Moore playing the same game. That's going to be big. It's nice to have those guys back. Like, I've been disappointed with Xavier Rhodes this year. I was expecting more, but he just hasn't been playing as well as he should have been. So honestly, I could see this being his last year in Indy, and I could see them drafting a corner, especially if they're going to be a top 10 pick. They'll probably bench Carson. They'll get that top 10 pick, and then they'll draft, there's that LSU cornerback. I think Singletary.
Stingley. Yeah,
Yeah,
Stingley,
or
right?
Stingley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would love to get him on this team. So I think they're going to go for corner with their first pick, and then they're going to probably let Rhodes go, if I had to guess.
Or I don't know, and I'd have to look more at free agency, but you do got to wonder if this season, if this season doesn't go the way the Colts hope. So far it's been bad, but there's still a lot of season to go. But if they're miss the playoffs this year, does Ballard get a little bit more aggressive in free agency? Does he go try to sign some corners? Does he try to add to that defensive line? A pass rusher or something? I don't know what's going to happen exactly, but you do wonder. You've seen all these things that have been weaknesses so far.
Yeah.
Will the Colts potentially try to address them this offseason if the season goes bad and it goes awry? Like it's looking right now, but obviously we'll see.
Right.
But yeah, this is a big game, man. This is the game. I mean, I have a little bit of optimism left for this season. If the Colts for some reason choke this game, they just completely fall on their face. I mean, it's still possible, but I'm kind of like calling this season a wash at that point if you lose to Houston.
I might have to agree with you for sure. But no, I think Kyle Fuller is going to be available this year. I think he only had a 1-year deal with Denver because I think he was traded to Denver. But either that or he was released and picked up. But he's available. I could see them going after him because he's 29. So, he'll be 30 next year. So he's not that old. But I'm going to do some of the comments real quick. We got Brandon Wood. He says, Buckner's been getting doubled with a chip all year as well. Teams are forcing our DNs to beat them, and we are seeing the results. Yeah, true. I was going to say that earlier when we were talking about Buckner, he has been double teamed a lot. So that's definitely why he's been quiet. But he's still done pretty well to get to the quarterback. But, Grover Stewart, I need him to get to the quarterback too. Tyquan Lewis needs to get to the quarterback as well. And Muhammad. And I liked what Muhammad has been doing this year. He's not been great, but he's been pretty good. So, as long as he can continue to get there, that'll be fine. And then Jeff Rowe says, I don't think the game is here in the Louisville market. I don't know either. I believe the game's on CBS. So I know there's a website, I can't think of what the name is, that you can go to, and it has the list of the games and like where they're going to be played at. So I would just kind of look that up and see if we can find it there.
Yeah, but sure. Question for you, Matt. I'm curious. Yes. So obviously the season's been rough so far, 1-4, not ideal. Right. In your opinion, in this game, what needs to happen for you to get back on the Colts hype train a little bit? Obviously, it's still a long way to go. If you win this game, you're still 2-4. You still got some things to do. But what do you want to see the Colts do to make you confident, okay, this team can really make a run here in the next couple games?
I mean, I've been really confident still in the team, which I feel like I'm the most confident person on this team out of like anybody in the fan base, especially on Colts Twitter. But no, I need the defense to get like 3-4 sacks today. I want to see the edge. I want to see Kwity Paye get to, Davis Mills. I want to see whoever's on the other, end, whether it's Muhammad, Tyquan, any of them. I want to see them all get to the quarterback. I just want to see, this whole defensive line bring pressure, get to the quarterback, get them down. It felt like they were doing a better job at doing that the last couple weeks. It's just, it didn't look like that with Lamar Jackson last week because he was just running all over the place and it's extremely difficult to get him. But they've been better at it. But yeah, that's what I want to see. And if they can do that, then I'm going to feel like I did going into the year where, I think we can go on a run. And, if we're fully healthy, I truly believe we can beat anybody in the NFL if we're fully healthy. I believe we can. We can take on anybody. I mean, we almost beat the Rams and we weren't even that healthy and we weren't even that great. So that's what I need to see. What do you need to see from the team to really get you back on the hype train?
Yeah. I think I agree with that. I need to see the defensive line and just the defense in general. I I need to see under 10 points. Under 14 points. I need to see them just dominate. Pull what you did last year against Minnesota. Well, for example, just dominate. Just dominate. Slow them down. Continue to get pressure on the quarterback. Get him uncomfortable and force a few turnovers. And that's what you need to do. I also would like to see a defensive score today. I think they definitely need to just get some more confidence after flat out being embarrassed last year, or last week, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then I just need the Colts offense to continue to hum. I need the Colts to win this game by 20 points at least. I need to see them, I need to see this be a blowout from snap one. I just need to see the Colts in a different headspace than the Texans, and I needed to see them better in the red zone too. I need to see them not just go for 3, go for 7, go for 6, go for 7. All those things. I need to see them do those things that they really, frankly, have not been great at. I know they've been they're dead last right now in red zone touchdowns. So I need to see them just score a lot in the red zone today, and I feel a lot better. And this team's getting more confidence. So that's what I need to see.
Definitely. And I do want to bring this comment up real quick, and then we'll get into our fantasy options portion of the stream. Lawrence, he said the Colts can only afford to sign one big contract over the next 2 years until the new TV deal happens and Nelson needs his extension, which is true. I still think they can get a guy like Kyle Fuller. Heck, I mean, if they want to bring in another corner to replace Rhodes for a year or two, I believe Stephon Gilmore's a free agent after this year. There's Joe Hayden. I believe he's available too. Pittsburgh's corner. They're older, but they're still pretty good. They're not as good as what they were in their prime. But, if they can't afford to bring in Kyle Fuller, then I think they could bring one of those guys. But now let's get into the fantasy option real quick. We'll start on the Colts side of things. Who would you start today against the Texans on your fantasy team?
I mentioned Carson Wentz, obviously.
Yeah.
If you have him, I think it's a good start. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is going to have a big day as well. I mean, just pick there's so many guys that could go off. It's hard to tell. I do think Pittman's going to have another nice day. So I'd say go him. I would start the Colts defense as well. If you have them, definitely start them because I think they're going to do some good things today.
Definitely. And then for me, I think you could just write everybody's name on a piece of paper, throw it into a bowl, shake the bowl, pick a name out, and you'll be good to go. I agree with you on Carson and Jonathan Taylor and Pittman. I think T.Y. is going to have a pretty good day too. Molly Cox, I think, is going to have another big day. I think that chemistry is going to continue to form. And then I think Nyheim Hines is another guy I would throw in as, somebody I would start on fantasy, maybe as a flex option. And then I agree with you. Colts defense, definitely. I don't think Houston's offense is really going to do much. And speaking of them, who would you start if you were, in the unfortunate situation where you had to start a Houston Texan in fantasy this week?
Bro,
who is the guy you would start or guys?
Well, with how much Xavier Rhodes has been struggling, maybe Brandon Cooks might be an option. But even then, it's kind of a crapshoot because what if, Rocker Kenny's on him? Then there you go.
Right. True.
There's not a whole lot, honestly. I mean, you said Mark Ingram, but the Colts have been really good against the run, at least against running backs, I should say, the last couple weeks. So I don't even know if I'd start him, honestly.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't start him. I know he can have a big day pretty much whenever, and he's still a very capable running back. But like you said, the Colts defense has definitely gotten better when it comes to stopping the run. And, I think they're going to do a good job against Mark Ingram. I think the only guy you would have to start this week would be Brandon Cooks. He's like the only guy I can really see doing anything for Houston. And I think he'll have a pretty decent day. It seems like, any receiver that goes up against us, that's a number one receiver. They're going to have a good day. I mean, you saw what Devontae Parker did in the Dolphins game, Cooper Kupp, Lockett, all of them, Mark Andrews and whatnot. So I would start Brandon Cooks. I'm still a little worried with our secondary, so that's why I would start him. But now let's get into the we're going to go around. We're going to give our predictions really quick on the schedule for this week. I'll pull up the schedule real quick. That way I have it. I'll just read through. Let me know who you would pick, and then we'll go from there. So obviously we can't talk about the Dolphins game because that's going on right now, and Tampa already ended. So I'll start with the Vikings and Panthers. Who would you have in that game?
Ooh, you know what? The Panthers looked really bad last week. Sorry, got twisted over my words there.
Yeah, no,
I think the Panthers are going to win that game.
Okay. I'm actually going to go with the Vikings because I think with McCaffrey being out, the Panthers offense is going to take a hit from that. Sure. I think Sam Darnold will still have a pretty decent day, but I'll go Vikings. Their offense has been doing really well too with Jefferson and Thielen.
Yeah, and I want Dalvin. If they do, Dalvin Cook, I think, could have a really good day. So
true, which I think he is playing today.
Yeah, he's back.
Okay, so that's good for my fantasy.
Yep, me too.
And next we got the Chargers and the Ravens. I'll go with the Chargers on this.
All right, I'll go Ravens.
Okay.
I'll go Ravens.
Alrighty. Part of the reason why I did not go with the Ravens is because I'm still upset, but it's all good.
Yeah, same.
But next we got the Rams and the Giants. Who do you got in this one?
I'm actually going to pick an upset. The Giants have actually been playing pretty well. Daniel Jones has been playing pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Giants, actually. It's going to be a shocker, the upset of the week.
I don't know. I feel like the Rams are going to win. I like the Giants defense. I think they're pretty decent. I don't think they're good enough to stop Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. And Henderson's been playing pretty well too. So I'll go with the Rams. I agree that Daniel Jones has played well, but I don't think, especially with Barkley being out, and I believe Kenny Galladay's out too.
Yeah, they do get Sterling Shepard back, which is big.
That's true. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I still got to go with the Rams.
Okay, that's fine.
And then we got the Chiefs and the football team. I'll go with the Chiefs. Washington's defense has been very disappointing. But Kansas City has the worst defense in the NFL. So I think this is going to be a really high-scoring game. Start Gibson if you have him. Start Scary Terry. But I got Kansas City.
Okay. Yeah, I'm already going to go Kansas City. They can only be held down for so long. Mahomes is I feel like he's going to have a good day.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you for sure. But next we got the Packers and the Bears. Who do you got in this one?
I got the Packers. The Packers have just dominated for the last decade. Got Packers.
Yeah, I agree with you too. Somebody compared this rivalry as of recent to like a hammer and a nail. So,
pretty much.
I agree with that. But no,
pretty much.
Justin Fields has played well, but I don't think he's going to be good enough to beat the Packers at all.
No, I don't think so.
But then we got the Bengals and the Lions. Who do you got in this one?
Probably Bengals. I think the Lions just find ways to lose, man. It's actually impressive.
Yeah. I don't think Scary Terry's hurt. I think Terry McLaurin is playing, or McLaurin is playing today.
Yeah.
I didn't see that he was ruled out, but he might be. But even if he's out, I still think Kansas City wins. I got to go Bengals too. I feel so bad for Lions fans. I feel so bad for them because they should have beat the Ravens, but they lose by, a historic kick. And then they get that 2-point conversion against the Vikings last week to go up by 1. Vikings go down, kick a field goal to win the game. I feel so bad for them, but they're going to be 0-6. I got to go Bengals for sure. Bengals are playing really good football right now.
Yeah. Just an update if you're curious. For Jacksonville, just kicked the field goal and tied with Miami. There's like 3 minutes left, so that bears watching.
Yeah, man.
Wow, that field goal he made, it looked like he was going to be wide right, and it curved back in, and he made it. That's crazy.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that was wild. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. I need Dan Arnold to get a touchdown. Why can't he get a touchdown? I want Jacksonville to lose, but give me a touchdown, Dan Arnold.
Yeah. He hasn't really been targeted recently. I don't know.
No, I thought he was going to get one. It was going to help in my FanDuel parlay, but oh well.
Oh.
But that's why. He was like plus 300. But now we got the Chargers and the Browns. Who do you got in this one?
Chargers and Browns?
Chargers, Browns. Cardinals,
Browns. Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Ooh, okay. I feel like the Browns are going to win. I don't know why I feel that way,
Mhm.
but the Cardinals are so hyped up. They're undefeated, all that stuff. The Browns
Yeah.
are a sneaky good football team. So I'm going to say Cleveland, actually.
I'm gonna go Cardinals on this. I actually feel like Cleveland is overrated.
Okay.
The only teams they beat this year really aren't that good. Like the Kansas City game, we all thought was it was like, wow, they looked really good against Kansas City in that defense. They're gonna be great this year, and then Kansas City hasn't been that great this year, mostly because their defense. So I think they're a little overrated. This would definitely be a statement win for them, and would definitely change my mind on that. But I got to go Cardinals. That offense is just too good. So
for sure.
I got to go with them. But now we got the two most hated teams in America next, the Cowboys and the Patriots. Who do you got in this one?
I got Dallas. Dallas has looked good offensively.
Yeah,
I'm going to go Dallas, I think.
I got to go Dallas too, unfortunately. New England.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't. It's more fan base is the reason why I feel unfortunate going with them. I do not like Cowboys fans. It's weird to say. I think Patriots fans are more tolerable than Cowboys fans, but no, yeah, but Cowboys they just ride on all their Super Bowls that they won in the past. But
Fair.
yeah, the Patriots were overhyped going into the season, and it's showing that those moves they made really didn't make them much better. So yeah, I got to go with Cowboys as well. Then we got the Raiders and the Broncos. I'm going Broncos on this one. I think the John Gruden stuff is going to affect the Raiders enough to where the Broncos will squeak by with a win. Who do you got?
I think if you talk about pretenders, Denver is a pretender, and I think the Raiders are going to win. I mean, they were, I don't know. The Raiders aren't great, but Derek Carr makes them, I think, in every game. He's that good of a quarterback, I feel. So
True.
I'm going to go Raiders, actually. Even though despite all the craziness that's happened with the Gruden situation, I don't know. I just feel like they're going to respond well, to their new coach or new interim coach. I don't know.
Right. Hey, they might, but we'll see. But now we got the Seahawks and the Steelers. Who do you got in this one?
Seattle. Yeah.
Seattle?
Pittsburgh's a mess right now. So Seattle.
See, I would have normally went with Seattle, but I think them having Geno Smith in there is going to be the reason why they lose. If Russell Wilson was playing, I would 1,000% go with Seattle, but I got to go with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's looking a little better lately. I think they're going to be able to get the win. It should be a good game, but I think they're going to get the win.
We'll see. Geno Smith looked good, though, last week.
Yeah, but I think that was just because they weren't prepared for him. I think Pittsburgh's coaching staff is going to be ready to go for him. And Pittsburgh's defense is not terrible, and Big Ben's looking better now. So, but yeah, now we got the Bills and the Titans.
Buffalo all day.
Yeah, I agree with you. Buffalo. The Buffalo might be the best team in the NFL.
Their defense has turned it up this year.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, they play great this year. And then Josh Allen has been like MVP level this year. So I got to go with Buffalo. But now we got the final game of the day. We have we're at 12:38. Didn't realize the time.
You're fine. You're good.
We got the Colts and the Texans. Obviously, game of the week.
Obviously.
I'll go to you first. What are you thinking with this game?
I feel like the Colts come out really, really ticked from that embarrassment, and they go out and they respond. I'm going to go 35-10 Colts. I know that's a little bold, but I feel like they're going to respond. I do. They need to.
Yeah, I think Darius Leonard, DeForest Buckner were just furious. Like you could tell watching Darius Leonard's interview after that Ravens game that it just hit him so hard that they couldn't get the job done. I think he's going to go in to the locker room. He's going to talk with the defense. He's going to say, hey, guys, we cannot let this happen again. That was unacceptable. I think the defense steps up big time. I think the offense is going to get rolling. I'm thinking Colts win. I'm going to go a similar score to you. I'll go 31-10.
Okay. Yeah, so we both think defense is going to play pretty well.
Absolutely. I do agree with that. All right. Well, there we have it. Perfect timing. I'm getting a phone call, but that's going to do it for today. Hey, it was nice to have you back, Cody, on the stream. Can't wait to see you back, being involved with the channel a little more often, being on camera. I know you've been involved behind the scenes a lot. So thank you for coming on here, and thank you, everybody, for joining this stream. If you haven't liked this stream, should have mentioned that during the stream. Totally forgot about it. But like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You guys did hit 8,000 subscribers recently, so that is awesome. But thank you all for tuning in. For Cody and myself, we'll see you guys next time. And, of course, go Colts.